according to Quran and Sunnah. If they are Muslims and they believe in Islam and the teachings of Quran and Holy Prophet ﷺ, they should stop doing it and they should become peaceful people and they should struggle peacefully in a democratic way, in a proper constitutional way. They have a full-fledged right of Amr bil Maroof wa Nahy anil Munkar. They can mobilize their opinion, they can protest, they can get together in the form of the parties, they can support anyone, they can come to parliament, they can go to the courts, they can convene the conferences. There are hundreds peaceful, democratic ways to express their opinion and to pressurize the government to come up to the right sides. But this is never allowed. Just for these purposes somebody may take up the arms and create this anarchy and start killing the people.
But on a practical level, how are you going to put your message out there? It's all good and well writing this fatwa, but it's only going to reach a very limited number of people. On a practical level, how can you achieve this?
No, I would need the help of electronic media all over the world, including Pakistan and Arab world. The more you propagate it, and there are discussions on that, and they propagate the theme, because I have given two views. Somebody can differ with this viewpoint, but this is not kufr, but it is haram. I have given both views. That majority, 17 authorities, including for Imam Bukhari to Allama Ibn Taymiyyah, they said that this Khawarijite terrorism is kufr. And I have given the authorities who say it is not kufr, they are not in favor of takfir, but they say they are bughat, the rebels, they consider it rebellion. And all of them, without a single exception, they agree that they should be terminated. No need of having a debate whether it is kufr or not. At least everybody agrees upon that this is haram, at least if not kufr. So they should terminate it. So I think that they should propagate this message, and the main thing is that they should totally detach and disconnect. They should try that the Western world should disconnect Islam from extremism and from terrorism. And they should disconnect the Muslim Ummah from the terrorists, because the terrorism has no religion. They should condemn terrorism as terrorism, not as the Islamist or as Islamic terrorism. And in this way, all voices should get together.
What about a young Muslim who is possibly angry about what's happening in Iraq and Afghanistan? Young Muslims who might be more enticed by a more extremist message. How can you reach out to them?
There are two ways. One is the academic and intellectual way, and religious authority, the way of religious evidence is the authority which I have placed to them. There is one more way I would attract their attention. They should think over the past, last 20 years, their activities and their results. History itself is a lesson. Whatever they have been doing up till now, they should think whether they have achieved the objective positively, have they provided any kind of benefit to Muslim Ummah, or their terroristic activities have put the Muslim Ummah in the bigger crisis. They have lost their lands, the lands have been occupied, the governments have been removed, and still the whole Muslim Ummah is in the condition of terror, and they have brought the bad name to Islam. So if they had achieved good results, if they had finished the occupation, wrong occupation, if they had stopped the other countries and nations from attacking the Muslim land, at least we would have thought that this way of terroristic activities and bombing has at least created some good results. So the history is against them. They have created unbearable, unimaginable loss to the Muslim Ummah. Everywhere. Pakistan, you know what kind of, the whole Muslim world used to be pride of Pakistan. Now what is the condition of Pakistan? What is the condition of Afghanistan? If Osama bin Laden and their people were not insisting to stay, they are bombing the stay in Afghanistan, and they had been handed over to the international communities, there would be no chance for further occupation of Afghanistan. Now they talk of occupation, but the question is who became the reason of that occupation? If Saddam had not occupied Kuwait and not act violently to the people, so nobody would have entered, would have position. So these terrorists are the people who are creating the field and the plague, providing them the chance for interference. So their activities are not bringing good results, they are causing damage to Muslim Ummah. This is the historical fact, and this is the religious and Quranic fact. In both ways, my message is to them, they should think, they should ponder, and they should think with cool-mindedness. If they are really loyal to Islam and the Quran and Muslim Ummah, so they should think in the light of Quran and the teachings of Islam, and they should think in the light of the historic results which they have created up till now.
And on a personal level, you have said that other people in Pakistan who've given out a similar message to you have been killed. Do you feel under threats on a daily basis?
There are not many threats. I keep on receiving letters and threats, everything. But I have a belief. The night, my night of my life, which has to be engraved, I can't pass that night on the face of earth. And if I have to live one night on the face of earth, nobody can push me in the grave. It's upon in the hands of Almighty Allah. I leave my matter to Allah. And this is the sunnah of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If I am doing this task for the service of Holy Prophet, I am not serving any Western government, as I cleared in my media conference. I have not issued this fatwa on the request of anyone. No sponsorship, no link. I don't want any backup from anyone. I want just prayer of Almighty Allah and Holy Prophet, because I am sanctifying and purifying and defending the cause of Islam. I am a pleader of Islam and Holy Prophet's deen. So if anything happens, this is in cause of Islam. I will accept it.
Okay. This is not just my personal thing, so just keep going too short. When you're talking about declaring people kafirs on believers or non-believers, do you feel that anyone has a right to do that? As an Islamic scholar, you can say who is a believer and who isn't a believer?
Nobody has a right individually to declare anybody unbeliever as an individual. But the scholars have a right to declare the act as an act of disbelievers. And those who commit this act are committing an act of disbelieving. They become out of ambit of Islam. This is declared by Holy Prophet. I have just quoted the hadith of Holy Prophet and exegetical interpretation of the Aimma from the hadith. I have not quoted anything from myself. I am not declaring any person. You can't declare any single individual, but you can declare the status of that act. I have said the act of terrorism and killing of mankind by considering that killing lawful. That is kufr. And the one who does, commits the acts of kuffar. I have quoted Imam Maturidi. I have quoted Allama ibn Taymiyyah. I have quoted all these, and Imam Bukhari, who has bracketed the Khawarij, Mulhadeen and Kuffar. I have quoted the authorities. I have not declared on my own anybody, and nobody has a right to declare like this. I have just declared the positions of Quranic teachings and Holy Prophet's teaching, and I will again emphasize that I have not said that particular person is kafir. No, I have said the act of terrorism. Considering with this ideology, considering the killing of mankind lawful, this is categorically kufr, and those who commit with this ideology are kafir, are non-Muslims. This is a difference between two things.
Okay.
This is a very good question. Already this fatwa issuing ceremony has been arranged in Pakistan, but that is in second week of March, about 10-12 days later. The reason is that the Western world, London or England is, you can say, the center of the whole Western world to me, particularly Europe and the Western world. And the main concern in Pakistan, we are working for the last 30 years, and fatwa is going to be issued and open also in 2 weeks later. But I felt that the youth living in the Western world, having particularly the Pakistani or Indian ethnic background or Arabic Islamic background, since they don't go through the original Islamic sources, so they are being, you can say, victimized. They are victimized, and they are being detracked, and they are being misguided on the concepts of Islam. And yes, there, the internet. You go on internet and you will find the extremist people and the terrorist people are running uncountable websites giving the wrong concepts of jihad, wrong concepts of shahada, wrong concepts of suicide bombing, giving the fatwas in favor of suicide bombing, creating some exceptions and exemptions for them, and this is how they are being brainwashed. So that was a need that in America, the basic thing in 9/11 took place, and in England 7/7.